Hello everyone, it's Helen at Journaling Planet. I'm back in the craft room today and I'm going to show you why you don't need to be able to draw if you can cut or tear. As many of you know who follow the channel for a while, I like to keep a visual journal, and I've spoken in other videos about why I do this, and a lot of people would like to do the same, I think, but like me, they're not the best at drawing. And I just wanted to kind of underline what I think quite a few of you are maybe aware of on some level. If you can cut or tear, you don't need to be able to draw. You can create something that is a decent representation of something by just cutting and tearing and collaging. This is a finished piece that is inspired by a local windmill near me, but today I'm going to build up a scene in my journal that just shows a nearby lighthouse and rock formation near the ocean to show you how I build up the layers and the kind of materials that I'm using. It's mostly scraps, food packaging, junk mail, all that kind of thing. Book page also features quite heavily, but almost all of it is reclaimed materials apart from a bit of masking tape. So I'm going to start by building up the background. I've decided to do a sunset scene, or a sunrise scene, depending on how anybody wants to interpret it. And because it's collage, it is not going to be photorealistic. I'm going to maybe add interesting elements in that I find in my stash as I go to give it a slightly quirky edge, in the same way that on this one that I showed you, the butterfly and the windmill, they're not in perspective. You know, it's a large butterfly and it's not in perspective with the windmill. And also you wouldn't find all these pieces of book page on a real life windmill. So I'm going to start by building the background. I'm going to add in some more layers as I go. And at the end, I'm going to talk you through what I've done, the materials that I've used, and some tips for doing work like this. First of all, let me get the background done. Okay, that is the background. Hopefully you can see a loose landscape there, the sky, the sea, and the cliff edge. I would just want to flag that at this point in the game, I don't love this. It's fine. I can see it's got potential, but I've got a long way to go before I'm finished making it what I want it to be in the end. So that's the background done. I'm starting to rethink how many things I'm going to put in terms of focal points. There is a rock formation at this point in the coastal path where I live, and there's a lighthouse, and I think I'm actually just going to put the lighthouse in. I think having the rock formation as well is going to be too confusing, and really what I need to do is a separate collage for that, where I focus on maybe just the ocean and the rock formation itself. So sometimes this is just good to keep in mind, that we have a vision for something when we set out, but it's okay to change it as we go through. I'm still representing what it looks like when you do this walk near where I live. It's just that I'm selecting and curating which elements can fit in one canvas. And as it turns out, I just think it's going to be too much with the lighthouse and the rock formation. However, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to put the lighthouse in and I'm going to have another think. I'm also going to be doing some building up of the background with some mark making. So let me first get the lighthouse in and we'll take it from there. Okay, we're getting there. This is looking a lot closer to what I was imagining it would, now that the focal point is in place. And I've also put some text from a dream dictionary in here, which I really recommend. Dream dictionaries, if you can find them in like thrift stores or charity shops, they always have really interesting text in them. For example, this one about the ocean. In ancient times, the ocean symbolized life. If the ocean is calm, this is a sign of good luck. A smooth ocean with no ripples means you will achieve both in relationships and the rest of your life. I have a lot of fun cutting up dream dictionaries because the text is just always so interesting. So this is, coming together, but I am still at a point where I really want more definition between the different parts. So I'm going to come in with my Inktense pencils. They're from Derwent. And if I go around the different parts of the collage with my pencils, do a bit of blending and then get a wet paintbrush to it, it will all look a little bit more like a painting, which is sort of the effect that I want. Just a little bit more texture on that paper. So I'm going to get going with that and then we'll talk through the finished result. Okay, I hesitate to say that any piece in my journal is finished with a capital F. I probably will play around with a few more highlights and things on this piece, but I think you get the general picture. I'm not brilliant at drawing, but I have created something that really reflects the area in which I live and also captures how I feel about that place as well. It isn't literal, it is, of course, an interpretive piece of work, but considering where my drawing skills are right now, this feels like more of a polished piece of work to me. So for those of you who are a little bit wary about picking up a pencil or an ink pen to do a sketch, please consider this as an alternative, and please leave some comments below if you already do this or if you've been inspired to start by this video. If you have any tips or ideas about materials and subjects that people could use, I learn so much from the comments, and I know that other people do too. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.